Good morning and welcome student of class 10. We have already discussed the ratio of two quantities or ratio of four numbers already. If A is to B, B is to C is given, then we find A is to B is to C, or A is to B, B is to C, C is to D is given, we already find A is to B is to C and is to D, etc. And ratio and proportion are the combined chapter. In the previous class we studied about ratio only. So today we discuss about proportion. So today's topic is proportion. We first know what is proportion. After that continued proportion. Then few properties of proportion. After that few problems of proportion. First, we study about proportion. So, what is proportion? It is written in board out of, and also it is known to all of you what is proportion. I think that's so. Out of four quantities, the ratio of first and second quantities is equals to the ratio of third and fourth quantities. These are equal. Then we conclude these four quantities are in proportion. Like that, if we take four quantities, say A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D. Then if the ratio of first two, that means A is to B, and ratio of third and fourth, that is C is to D. If these two are equal, then we can conclude A, B, C, D are in proportion. Then we conclude A, B, C, D are in proportion. Okay. If A, B, C, D four quantities given, ratio of first and second is equals to ratio of second and third. Then we conclude that the A, B, C, D are in proportion. Like that, if we take two numbers, one is 2, other is 5, and another two number is 10 and 25. Then the ratio of first two is 2 by 5, ratio of second two 10 by 25, 10 by 25 and 2 by 5 are same, is it? Just dividing by 5, then you get 2, that means 2 by 5. So these two are equal, so we conclude this A, B, C, D are in proportion. Or in other way, we can also determine A, B, C, D are in proportion or not. Just if we take four quantities A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D. Now these are in proportion. That means A by B is equal to C by D by our definition. A by B is equal to C by D by our definition. From this we can conclude just AB is equal to B into C. AD, that means product of first and fourth. First number into fourth number or quantities is equal to second number into third number. Then these four numbers are also in proportion. If four numbers are given A, B, C, D, if the question is these are in proportion or not, just product of first and fourth is equals to product of second and third, then we can conclude these numbers are in proportion. Okay. Next, we study about continued proportion. Here the definition written for three numbers only. It is also for 4, 5, 6 and other way. So continued proportion for three numbers, it is written three quantities are said to be continued proportion if the ratio of first and second is equals to the ratio of second and third. three quantities are said to be continued proportion if the ratio of first and second is equals to the ratio of second and third numbers. Then these three numbers are said to be continued proportion. Let us take three numbers A, B, C. That means ratio of first and second, that is equals to ratio of second and third. That means A by B is equal to B by C. Or we can conclude from this B into B, that is B square. B square is equal to A into C. That means product of the extreme, this known as extreme, and middle one known as the mean. So product of extreme is equal to the square of the mean. Product of extreme is equals to the square of the mean. Then three numbers A, B, C are in continued proportion. If four numbers are in continued proportion, A, B, C and D are in continued proportion, then what happens? Just exactly as before, A by B is equal to B by C is equal to C by D. A by B is equal to B by C is equal to C by D. Then A, B, C, D are in continued proportion. Okay. For continued proportion, in class 11 we know the another name of this type of proportion. ABC are in continued proportion is nothing but ABC are in geometric progression. This is not in your syllabus, so it is not our topic. If just it is named is given, if ABC are in continued proportion, then we can conclude ABC are also in GP, that means geometric progression. Okay, next we study about important properties of proportion. Next, first property, if x is to A is equal to y is to B is equal to z is to C is equal to k, where k is non-zero constant, then we can write x is equal to AK, y is equal to BK and z is equal to CK. X is equal to AK, y is equal to BK and z is equal to CK. Very easy, like that. That means x by A is equal to y by B, just ratio means z by C is equal to k. So from first and last we can write x is equal to AK and otherwise. First one. Next, ABC are in continued proportion. ABC are in continued proportions. We have already write ABC are continued proportion. That means what happens? A by B is equal to B by C. Suppose this both ratio is equals to K, where K is non-zero. So we can write first from first and second, we can write A is equal to BK, and from second and third we write B is equal to CK. Now if we replace B here, so A is equal to how much? Instead of B we can write C into K, C into K into K, that means C into K square. So ABC are in continued proportion. Then if we take A by B is equal to B by C is equal to K, then you can write A is equal to CK square and B is equal to CK. Now if ABCD are in continued proportion, A, B, C and D are in continued proportion, then we can conclude A by B is equal to B by C is equal to C by D is equal to say constant K. Obviously it is non-zero. Then exactly as before we can write how much? A is equal to D K cube, B is equal to D K square and C is equal to D K in terms of D and K. We write A, B, C in terms of D and K. A is equal to D K cube, exactly as before, just replace here. So we can write A is equal to D K cube, B is equal to D K square and C is equal to D K. Okay. Next, we study about another property. if A by B is equal to C by D, if A by B is equal to C by D, then we can write B by A is equal to D by C. Then we can write B by A is equal to D by C. This is known as alternando. This is known as alternando. If A by B is equal to C by D, then you can write AB by A is equal to D by, sorry, this is not alternando, this is invertendo. It is not alternando, it is invert. Take the inverse, take the inverse. If instead of A by B we write B by A, and instead of D by C we write B by C. So it is invertendo. Name is different. Yes, it is invertendo. Just take the inverse. So alternando, what is in alternando? Just if we write from this one, A by B is equal to C by D, or from this we can write A by C is equal to B by D. A by C, just these two portions are interchanged. A by C is equal to B by D. This is known as alternando. This is alternando. Okay, just replace B and C, position of second position and third position be interchange. Now, if A by B is equal to C by D, which implies A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. How it is possible? This named as componendo. This named as componendo. How it is possible? From here, if we add same thing on the both side or subtract same thing on the both side, then no problem at all. So if we add 1 on both sides, A by B plus 1 and C by D plus 1, then what happens? LCM is B, so it is A plus B. LCM is D, so it is C plus D. Then you get this. So componendo is nothing but adding 1 on both sides. Or this is also known as componendo. If we subtract 1 from each side, then no problem at all again. If we subtract 1 from both sides, that means A by B minus 1 is equal to C by D minus 1, which implies A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. Just subtract these two. Now, the next property, A by B is equal to C by D, which implies that A plus B by A minus B, that is equals to C plus D by C minus D. Very, very important property, this one. Just in left side, we add first the denominator A plus B, then subtract the denominator from the numerator. A plus B by A minus B. In right hand side also C plus D by C minus D. This is known as componendo dividendo. Componendo dividendo. This is componendo and dividendo. componendo means first componendo you add 1, then you get componendo. So why it is division? Why it's called componendo dividendo? What is that? Why it's called componendo and dividendo? Try to yourself first. Why it's called dividendo? Where is the division procedure? Follow. Next, another one, that is addendo. If A by B is equal to C by D, then we can conclude each ratio is equal to sum of the numerator divided by sum of the denominator. That means A by B is equal to C by D is equal to A plus C by B plus D. This is known as addendo. This is known as addendo. Okay. It is not only true for two quantities, it is true for 3, 4, etc. If A by B is equal to C by D, like that, A by B is equal to C by D is equal to E by F, say these three, then each ratio is A plus C plus E by B plus D plus A. This is known as addendo. This is known as addendo. Okay. So we know what is componendo, what is alternando, what is invertendo, what is componendo and dividendo. Componendo and dividendo and addendo. These two are very, very important. Componendo, dividendo and addendo. These two properties are more important. Okay. Next we start few problems using this. Next we start exercise 5.2. Let us find the value of x for the following are proportion. First problem, 10 is to 35, x is to 42, sorry. So very easy. 10 by 35, there are so many processes. If we follow this, A by B is equal to C by D. So A by B is equal to C by D. Then we find x very easily. Dividing by 7, this is 5. This one 6. Dividing by 7, then you get this. And 5 and 10, this is 2. So 2 into 6, 12. So value of x is 12. Very easy. Next, find the third proportional of the following positive number. Fourth proportion. This is question number 1. In question number 2, find the fourth proportional. We have to find the fourth proportional. 3 numbers are given, 1 by 3, second one is 1 by 4, third one is 1 by 5. We have to find the fourth one. That means fourth one, suppose fourth one is x. So we have to find out x. It is again easy. Use this formula. 1 by 3 divided by is to 1 by 4 is 1 by 5 by x. Or we can write 1 by 3 into 4 by 1. So that is 4 by 3. Is it? Yes. And this is 1 by 5x. Or 20 by 3 is equal to 1 by x. Therefore, x is equal to 3 by 20. So, fourth proportional is 3 by 20. So, this is fourth proportional is 3 by 20. Very simple. Next, let us find the third proportional of problem number 3. So, in this case 2, this is 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4 as your class work. p minus q, p square minus q square, and p square minus pq plus q square. So fourth proportional will be x. Find it and send it to me. This is your classwork. Next, find the third proportional of the following positive numbers. Third proportional of the following positive numbers. Third proportional of the following positive numbers. Question number 3. 3, 1, 5 and 10. We have to find out the third proportional. Suppose third proportional will be x. Third proportional will be x. So we write 5 by 10 is equal to 10 by x. A, B, C. We have to find out C. Third proportional. That means we have to find out this one in this way. So how much? X is equal to 10 into 10 divided by 5. 5 2s are 10. So x is equal to 20. So third proportion is 20. 3, 1. So 3, 4 as your classwork. X minus y whole square. Second one is x square minus y square whole square. We have to find out third proportion. This is also your classwork. Try to yourself and send it to me. 3, 4. Okay. Next, find the mean proportional. Most probably mean proportion is not defined still now. Yes or no? Most probably not. So mean proportion, if A and B given, suppose x is the mean proportion of A and B. That means these three are in continued proportion. That means A by x is equal to x by b. Sorry. That means x square is equal to ab. X is equal to a into b square root of ab. If we find mean proportion, then a and b are both positive number. So we write positive sign only. Square root of ab. In this case, we do not take plus minus this. Since it is given, in your question it is also given the find the mean proportion of the following positive number. So product of two positive number is positive and their square root is positive. In this case we take positive sign only. You may write plus minus, then no problem at all. Okay. So find the mean proportion of 4, 1, mean proportion of 5 and 80. Find the mean proportion of this. So if we use this formula, that means mean proportion is equal to square root of 5 and 80. 5 into 16. Now square root of 5 into 5 is 5 and square root of 16 is 4. So that is 20. So mean proportion is 20. Okay. Next, 4, 4. Find the mean proportion of x minus y whole square and x plus y whole square. Mean proportion of this. So using this mean proportion, of these two, square root of now whole square. So it is x minus y, square root of x plus y whole square is x plus y. X plus y into x minus y, that is x square minus y square. Again we take positive square root only, since it is given that the positive number. So we take positive sign only. So it is your classwork. Again another 4-2 is your classwork. Find the mean proportion of 8.1 and 2.5. 8.1 and 2.5 mean proportion of these two. Next we start another problem. Let us find should we subtract to each term, make it result proportional. Question number 9. Let us find what should be subtracted from each of. Question number 9. Each of 23, 30, 57 and 78. Let us find what should be subtracted from each of 23, 30, 57 and 78 to make the result proportional. So first we take, let x be subtracted from this number to get proportional. That means what have to do? If we do x subtracted, then we get the number 23 minus x, 30 minus x, 57 minus x and 78 minus x. Now these are in proportional. That means if you use a by b is equal to c by d, or use a into d is equal to b into c. Anyone? 23 minus x by 30 minus x, that is equals to 57 minus x by 78 minus x, or 23 minus x, 78 minus x, that is equals to 30 minus x into 57 minus x. Or 23 into 78, how much? 23 into 78, 1794 most probably, minus 23x minus 78x plus x square. Now 57 into 3, 30, sorry. Most probably 1710. Minus 30x minus 57x plus x square. So this is plus x square cancel out. 23 and 78. If we adding these two, 1794 minus 101. 101. Is it? One 1710, 30 and 57, most probably 87. Yes. Or this is plus 101 plus 87x, 1710 minus 1794. So 101, 87, 14 most probably. Minus 14x, that is equals to minus 84. Minus minus cancel out, x is equal to 84 by 14, that is 6. So if with 6 subtracted from each number, then we get these are proportional. If 6 is subtracted, then we get these numbers are in proportional. If we 6 subtracted, then the number will be how much? 23 minus 6. 23 minus 6, that is 17. 30 minus 6, that is 24. 57 minus 6, that is 51. And 78 minus 6, 72. Check it. 17 by 24, and this is 51 and 72. If we multiplying these two number by 3, then we get that number. So these 4 are proportional. Okay. So already given 4 very small problem, very easy problem. Next, question number 8. Write what should be calculated. Write by calculating. What should be added to each number? What should be added to each number? Should be added to each number. Question number 8, as your class work, exactly as before, same way. Question number 8, what should be added? Should be added to each of 6, 15, 20 and 43 to make the sums proportional. Make the sums to make it proportional. 6, 15, 20 and 43. What should be added to this to get these 4 terms be proportional? 6, 15, 20 and 43. Okay. Question number 8. Try yourself and send it to me. My WhatsApp number is known to all of you now. 9433457190. Send it to me in this number. It's okay now. That's all for today. From next day we start the problems of proportion again. Another exercise in your book, and these are most typical. 5.3 either in video form or in Google Meet. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you. Bye.